Friday, everybody. I'm coming in and out of the picture frame. Eric Range, how are you?
What's going on, my sister? What is going on?
Man,
It
I'm
is
living on.
Friday.
Listen, I got East Coast body on the West Coast. I've been out here for this past week. A little personal. My son turned 23 on Tuesday, so shout out to Brian and happy birthday again. Trying to have a little personal time, but also ended up trying to do business, and I'm all off. So everybody, if you're on and you see it at 4 o'clock, it's because I scheduled it at 1, but it's picking up 4 o'clock Western Pacific time. So bring everybody in, hit share, and let's go to work, man. What's new and what's going on with you and there in Florida? What's happening?
Listen, man, we looked like we were getting a tropical storm, but it got downgraded. So like we've been, you know how Florida is, right? Like we get this weather. It's summertime. It could be raining all day long, or we could get some really beautiful days. Today is a nice day out, so I am going to try to, at some point today, get outside, take my shoes off, walk in the grass. Y'all know how I do, and just enjoy this beautiful day, man. But I'm so excited, to be on with Canna Talk again with, this Friday. This is, I think this conversation is such a beautiful thing because I think back to when we first started this whole Canna Talk with Roz. We wanted to expose people to information about the industry. We wanted to, but one of the things that we really wanted to do is just like highlight the Black and brown brands that are in this space, highlight the people who we think that folks need to know about, need to be able to go and, follow and to support, because that's the only way that we're gonna really be able to survive in this industry is if we work together. We wrap our arms. You said it many times before. We got to wrap our arms around some of these brands in this space to make sure that our people are being pulled through for long-term sustainability. So today's conversation, I think, is just like super on point because we're going to be highlighting those brands, and of course, I'm going to talk about my brands and my products and what we got going on as well. But super excited, man. I know you out there on the West Coast. Timing is always crazy. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know. Yeah, listen. But
the struggle is real.
Hey, listen, the struggle is real. But good morning. What's up, Stanley Atkins? Good morning. We love you, Stanley. Listen, guys, make sure you're hitting share because this lady we have coming up that's going to be sharing with us. And I don't know, E, do you want to tell everybody, give them a little foretaste, or just we had 2 guests for today, and unfortunately, if you want to share kind of what happened on
your man. So we, like I said, we like to try to highlight some brands, and we got one brand that we're gonna highlight today, but we had another that we were gonna highlight that we think has a awesome product, that you guys would love if you're a foodie like me, if you like food and you want to add different ways of consuming cannabis and adding it to your food. That was just going to be an awesome product for you guys. But unfortunately, he got into an accident and was unable to be with us last minute. We got, word that he wasn't able to join us. So we're just praying for him, making sure that, everything is okay with him and he's safe. And we will definitely get him on at some point in the future. But this next brand, man, I'm excited that we finally got to get them on because we've been talking to them over the last few months. They were actually introduced to me by one of our board members, Matt Bowman. I don't know how Matt met them or how it got connected, but all of a sudden I get a call, as you know, with Matt will call you out of the blue. And then, he was like, hey, listen, I'm about to connect you to this phone conversation. And he was like, I'm about to connect you to this lady, Miss Shirley. They got this brand out here, Premium, and I want you to know about it. They want to be corporate partners. We need to talk, and so we get on a phone call with Miss Shirley, and then next thing you know, we end up setting up another call with the whole Premium team, and we meet them, and it's just such an awesome, group of people, all Black, Black founders and management team and everything, and they've been working to develop their product over time to bring it to market. And so I'm excited. I'm not even going to spill the beans of what it is, but they just launched it. I want to say last week. They just launched it, for people to be able to go and start purchasing, wholesale, direct to consumer. So we're going to get into all of that today. But, without further ado, I want to bring up our guest for today, who is actually the CEO of the company and the brand. And her name is Miss Shanika Luciano. And she's coming to us live from Houston. And that's where they're based out of. So welcome to Canna Talk Garage, Shanika. How are you doing
Thank
today?
you. I'm doing very well. Thank you all so much for inviting me and having me on. I'm so excited to share with you all Premium, how we started, like where we were, and how we got to where we are. So I'm super excited to be able to answer any questions that you guys may have, share some funny stories if possible, and, learn more in this space.
I mean that is it in a nutshell right there. And because I've had an opportunity to meet some of your team members, via
Hmm.
Zoom. Of course, we still in COVID times and everything, but
Yeah.
because I've had the chance to meet some of them, you guys got a pretty strong team and a pretty amazing team. So walk us through how y'all even came together. And was it, did the conversation about cannabis come first and then the group came together, or the group came together and then y'all started talking about cannabis? So walk us through how that all started and began for y'all.
So it all started with my mom. My mom, 20 years ago, purchased land in California. Didn't really know what to do with the land. The land was going to be for me and my brother. And so, um, she just kept it. And then, of course, as times changed, as the economy changed, as, what's hot and what's not started to change, she decided that she wanted to be in the space of cannabis. And so, again,
Wait,
it's my
hold on a second,
mom.
Shanika. Hold on. Let me get this right. So mama brought cannabis to the table.
Mommy brought cannabis to the table. Yes, yes.
We normally get the story the opposite way around. It's like the
Oh
younger
no,
generations is bringing it to the older generations, but no, I love it.
no.
Go ahead, mama.
Yeah. So my mom bought it to the kids, which is me and my brother. And she said, "Look, this is for you and your brother. Generational wealth. My brother has a daughter. I have two boys. So she was like, this is what's going to put our family on the map. This is what's going to take us to the next level." Well, I had an IT consulting business on the side, and so I told mom, I said, "Look, if you want this to work, we're going to need a team because." There's not going to be enough hours in the day for one person to be able to do all of this work. And
Right.
so, me having the business background and the business sense that I have, I took over. I'm the CEO and I'm the executive assistant, right? So I did all of the formation paperwork. I knew what it was going to take for us to get off the ground from a business perspective. My brother is super good with money, with the financial aspect, so he's the CFO. All things considered, I said, okay, we're not growers. I said, and the best cook out of the three of us is mom. So we need to figure out how we're going to build the rest of the team, the rest of the team to be able to give us that additional thought dimension. So, my brother brought Jonathan Jones on board, who he went to Norfolk State with an HBCU out of Virginia. He brought him on board. He's our operations officer, our chief of operations. And then the guy behind these lovely beauties here, which are our honey sticks, his name is JD Simon. JD and I, compliments of my mom and his mom, grew up together in Hawaii as military brats. So we've been friends for over 30 years. Kenwan is
Wow.
also he's also a trained chef. Um, so he was an executive chef at the MGM Grand in Washington, D.C. He has his own business. So, his taste buds, I told him, I said, we're going to ensure your taste buds, right? Because everything that he cooks, everything that he pairs together is absolutely phenomenal. So that's essentially how we got our team together. It's the five of us. We're all childhood friends. And then we have mom who, keeps us all in line.
I,
Yeah.
Um,
I I
so
love that aspect of it and how you guys have taken, relationships that were already there. You looked
yeah,
at your skill sets, you found the gaps, and then you had people in your network already, your family and friends that you could fill those gaps with, man. And that is just,
yep,
that's an awesome, awesome thing. And then, like you said, mama there at the top just kind of directing the ship.
yes, yes. And even though she vetoes us, Okay, Mom, we agreed we're going this direction. She goes, well, I'm the oldest, so I think we should do something different. We're like, well, that's not fair, right? So, um,
Hey,
You
you
know
know
what?
what? It sounds like.
So E, before you go, so hold that thought 1 second.
Go ahead.
So what I need you to do, because I need you, you got a whole bunch of people out here listening to you, and shout out to everybody that's listening and watching Can Talk with Roz. We love you. We see our M for MM family. Make sure you're sharing this. But let's talk about your company, Premium, and what exactly is Premium, and what do you do in regards to? Are you a product developer? Are you a cultivator? Give them the kind of that foundation in regards to how do you decide what you're going to do, and who you guys are, your brand and what have you. I think it's really important as we celebrate so many brands. And if you guys are out there listening, if you got a brand, put it in chat. We want to know. Put your brand and your website in the chat. Let's make sure we
mhm.
support one another. But Shanika, please share.
So our brand, believe it or not, so we started off as Honey Pot Trio. We wanted to, we figured, you think about three bears, which was me, my brother, and my mom. We knew we wanted our products to have some type of honey, some type of, health benefit associated with it. So we had the train left the station with us being branded as Honey Pot Trio. One thing that I will say that is super important as you start your brand, get an attorney to help you with your trademarking of your brand. Because went out, we had a website built, we had already started creating product, only for our attorney to say, yeah, you can't use that name. So we ended up having to start over literally with everything: website, branding, apparel, all that stuff that we had spent thousands of dollars on. We ended up not being able to use it. So one night, I said, look, we got an hour. We need to come up with a new name. And we went through all kinds of stuff, Urban FX, and, all these names that we tried to come up with. And then my brother said, what about Premium with an H? And so, one of the things that we always pride ourselves on, and I think the whole team has just a little touch of OCD, is that we wanted everything to be perfect with our brand. Everything from our
Mhm.
packaging to our taste to our website to our Instagram or our social media presence. And so when you think of something that's premium, you're going to pay just a little bit more for it, but the quality is always going to be spot on. And so that's the space that we try to build our brand in. As far as what it is that we're focusing on, right now we're focusing on the retail part of it because we knew that in order to do the cultivating part of it and the processing part of it, that we needed to create a revenue stream that was going to be able to keep the revenue coming in because we were going to have revenue going out. So perspective
Mhm.
wise, last year in the middle of the pandemic, we were able to purchase about 160 acres of land. So we have land in, like I told you about the California land. We have land in Arizona, and then here in Texas, we have about 110 acres of land here in Texas.
Did you
And
do it? Did
so,
you did you do your land purchase by small blocks, or did you do large purchases? And I think it's interesting because we have folks that own land, but also there's markets right now where ag land is so dirt cheap. How did you do your purchase? Was it, again, small or large?
so large, and so we have one block of land that's 80 acres. And then the same guy who sold us those 80 acres sold me an additional 20 acres. So, and then we bought 10 acres across the street from all of that.
Okay. Okay. But yeah. So
And,
continue.
and,
Yeah.
and Shanika, real quick, are you guys partnering with any farmers as well?
No, we
Or are you
haven't
guys
gotten
gonna
to
have
that
it all
point.
under? Say again.
So we were going to start with potted earth. And then this is, of course, where my OCD kicks in. So we're going to partner with potted earth, but we had to understand that in order to be a farmer, we had to get the licenses, the equipment. Like you literally have to have a bucket of money to get all those boxes checked off at one time. Because if you start with one side and it takes you 6 months to get something else done, by the time you get ready to start, all your licenses have expired. So you got to start that process all over again. Uh, so,
Yeah.
um, so we're going to partner with Potted Earth, and I want to say the start of next year, they're going to come out, take a look at our land to let us know which direction we need to face, help us figure out who do we need to contact to get up, that portion of the land cleared. and then we'll just be cooking with grease from there.
I
That is
want to make
awesome.
sure I remind people that if you have land and you know that you're going to use that land for agriculture, and I don't care if it's tomatoes, watermelon, hemp, or what have you, we're going to be doing a special Sow the Land webinar featuring our new national director of hemp, Stanley Atkins. And you need to make sure that your farm is registered with the Farm Service Agency. And if you don't know what
Okay.
that is, just make sure that you tune in next weekend, the 21st, I think it's next Saturday or what have you. It's real critical that some of those permits that you need to have, because you need to have that permit before you get your hemp farming permit. And what Shanique is trying to say to you guys is that don't jump over your steps in order to kind of come to market. Don't you think, Shanika?
That's correct.
You know, and to that same point, I wanted to touch on something she mentioned that I really think is so. I don't want us to gloss over that, because she mentioned the misstep that they had starting off with from a branding standpoint. You know, and starting out building a website, getting merchandise, and all of this other stuff that goes into it. You know, Shanika, talk about what that was like in terms of, and you don't have to put like a number on it, but what was that like in terms of like the early resources that y'all developed and burning through that and having to come back? Like, how far back did that set y'all? How long was the process to get rebooted, if you will?
It set us back about 30,000.
Y'all hear that, right? Y'all hear that?
It set us back a pretty penny because so if you look at our website now, that's pretty much the second iteration of our website. And I will also say, when you look for your resources, look for resources that already live and exist in this space. So the first website designer we had, he pretty much put on our website what we told him to put on the website, right? We had paragraphs, we had all kind of content on the website. But then when we had to stop the train and go back to the drawing board, we found a resource that had already built and developed other CBD sites for other companies. And he was just like, it just needs to be simple. It needs to be user friendly, and it just needs to be simple. Well, see, we didn't know that, right? So he cost the same amount of money as the first guy that did the website. But this website we have now is just so much cleaner. It's easier to find information. The color scheme is on point. And I mean, the pictures look just like the product.
Right, right.
Hey,
And
so
that
can you guys? I think everybody out there, can they see the screen? I'm sharing your website right now.
Yeah, we can see it. It's a
It's
beautiful
beautiful.
website.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But you're so right. I mean, and it's little things like that people don't even think about. I use a tool, and here's a little gem for everybody out there. There's a website out there called NameCheck. NameCheck. Now, this isn't. Let me separate this conversation. And I'm not talking about like from a trademarking, intellectual property standpoint. That you need to go get to your attorney, okay? But from a finding out whether or not your brand's name is going to be available for you, not just from a domain standpoint, but can you get it across all social media platforms? Can you get it on different platforms where you may want to have your business visible? And so namecheck.com, and I think it's NAMECHCK.com, NameCheck. And you can go on there and you can type in what you want your company name to be or your brand to be, and you can see if that's available for you on across different platforms. That's a great place to get started, before you go and purchase that domain. But then again, like you said, Shanika, I do advise go to an attorney. What are some of the other things that when you finally got plugged in with your attorney in those early days, what are some of the other things that you guys, I guess learned in hindsight through working with your attorney?
So obviously the name part was a big deal. Because like I said, we had went forward and generated, t-shirts and, just really did a whole bunch of work. The other thing that the attorney, we learned from the attorney is that they actually gave us uh, it's called the name search, but in that it gave us a list of all the other companies that had some variation of honey in their name, and it told us what their products were that they were trying to register, that they were trying to either patent or register. And so what my product guy JD did, he said, check out this YouTube. It was a lady who her business model was, I'm not here to create anything new. I'm only here to improve what currently exists, right? And this is the lady that makes the metal straws, right? So, we got the plastic straws, and now we have recyclable straws, we have metal straws. And so that's one of the things that we talk about. We talk about our honey sticks. We're not claiming to have invented CBD infused honey sticks, but what we are telling you is that it's better than anything else that's out there. We've improved the current CBD infused honey stick. Our honey sticks are longer. Our honey is sweeter. It tastes a lot better. You can take it straight from the straw, or you can add it with your beverage. So that's pretty much the space that we're trying to live in. We're not inventing we're not inventing anything new. We're just improving what currently exists. And that includes flavoring, packaging, everything.
And I can't wait to try some because I use honey to sweeten my coffee. So, that CBD kick in there is going to be an added bonus. Tell us, in terms of your product packaging, what size are the honey sticks? Like what type of like net weight are we working with, and how much CBD are in them?
So
you
I'm
got
going to
it in
take
front
one
of us.
out.
Show us some of this product. We want to see.
So this is the packaging, and then these are the honey sticks.
Yeah. So let's go back to the packaging. First, look at your packaging, and I want everybody to take a note of it. The clean lines. It has did you have a packaging person help you in regards to what you had to have on the packaging in regards to consumer information and how you lay that out, or a graphic designer? How'd you guys work through that process?
So the guy that did our website is also the same guy that did our packaging for us. He's super amazing. He's totally gifted, and he's all mine. But yeah, we worked with him.
Hey, listen, don't be stingy now. Don't be stingy.
The nigga was like, as long as y'all know.
I ain't mad at you, girl.
But we are going to talk about something. It was so funny. I was on Clubhouse. I hadn't been on Clubhouse in a while. So shout out to Sheree Franklin. I was on yesterday, and something came up in a wordplay that came up. We always talk about multi-state operators, but we need to be talking about, for us, and especially Black and brown businesses in the space, multi-state partners. And we use the word of partnership, not to take or what have you, but how can we become multi-state partners as Black and brown businesses to do business with one another, and also to learn from one another. And so, not to take away from what you're doing, but I think there is something to be said about us being able to share and grow together, because that's the only way we're going to be able to do it, you guys. I'm telling you, the way that this industry is fast, we need to figure out what's our multi-state partner network. And these are going to be businesses that are already up and viable, that are able and ready to do work together with one another, Black and brown businesses. So y'all stay out, listen out for that. I'm going to do something with that. I don't know what yet. But
and to that
let
point,
me tell you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Say that, and I'll ask my question.
I was going to say, like I said, the guy who created our packaging for us, he put so much thought into every aspect of even just the name. So the font that was chosen was actually created by a Black man, right? So this font is a Black-owned business. Me, my mom, and JD were all veterans, right? So everything on our packaging is symbolic of who we are as a company. So the typeset right here for premium was originally architected by a Black man. When he did the
hold it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
When you look at the endpoints for the leaf, it is the formula. I don't even know what it's called, but it's the formula for CBD. So it's like if you drew an imaginary line on the packaging around the logo, you would get the formulation for CBD. And so, he wrote up a whole paragraph as to how he came up with literally every aspect of our logo and our name until it was just perfect. Like it's just totally befitting of our company, our brand, who we are, the whole nine from start to
Yeah.
finish.
And you have to be that deliberate, and that's
Yeah,
really good. And even being that deliberate, and you just talked about how much depth is just in the logo, but yet
yeah,
it's still simple, clean, and elegant.
yes,
And I think that
yes.
is so important. I was doing some research on logos because I work with a couple clients in that same space, and one of the things they show, what I found in my research, is that you go and look at some companies when their logo where they started, these elaborate, well thought out, all these different things, exuberant logos. And then where they are today, they have this very
Hmm.
simplistic, straight to the point, clean cut logo
Hmm.
that, gets across the point to the customer. And I think that is
Hmm.
very, very important. We talked about, like Ross said, that multi-state partnership. So let me ask
Hmm.
you guys from a company and brand standpoint, how can people work with you? Like if they are a retailer, if they are an
Maybe a
entrepreneur,
distributor. Yep.
yeah, they're a distributor, how can they, take your product and make some money for themselves while at the same time
Hmm.
helping you all to grow and expand as a company?
So we do have a link on our website for people who are interested in doing wholesale. We also offer what is it? The more you buy, you get a better price per
Tiered
product or
pricing,
per
yeah.
yes, tiered pricing. So we have that as well. But right now we're small enough to where if you want to reach out to us and you want to, have some of our products in your store, or you want to be a distributor, or if you want to be a
Affiliate
what are the
marketing, affiliate link, having an
yes,
affiliate link on the website.
absolute, absolutely. You can send us an email. You can either email me directly at slucenio@premium.com, or you can email our product development team, which is prod, PROD, DEV @premium.com. And then we will make sure that we, obviously start that line of communication with you. We are in the process of working with a tea company out of Virginia who sells loose tea, who wants to take our honey sticks and put them inside of like a little box set, and sell the tea with the honey sticks. So we're definitely open to building those relationships, as well as creating opportunities for yourself and for us.
Yeah.
Do
What
you
what
have?
about are you guys manufacturing a product? Can they do white labeling deals
I'm
as
sorry,
well?
what happened? Are we
Can
doing what?
can you all do white labeling deals as well?
We haven't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No worry. I want people to know, because I'm also thinking, y'all know hemp and fork. Like yeah, I see a lot of synergies there, and we gonna be definitely talking offline to see how we can
That's
pull some
perfectly
things
fine.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, because some people buy them, in the box. The honey sticks don't have labels on them, so they buy them in the box and they just take them out the box and they put them in, a little bowl or a little cup in their salon or wherever they want to
Yeah.
put it, and they sell them, either as individual sticks, or they pretty much do what they want to do with them.
Now, let me ask you a question in regards to the use of the stick. Is it one of those honey sticks where you squeeze it into your hot tea, or do you put the whole entire stick in and it dissolves?
You squeeze it out. Hmm.
Okay, okay. I was just
Yeah.
curious. I was a
And, and,
little.
and how many come in a box?
There's 10 that come in the box. Each honey stick has at least 15 milligrams of full spectrum hemp CBD in them.
That's
Sweet.
fantastic.
Sweet. Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know what? So one thing about this program and about is Black History is Black celebrating Black Businesses Month. We talk about um, the I guess where you are right now. But is there anything as we start to wrap up the show? Are there any parting words or things or pearls of wisdom that you can share outside of? We talked about make sure that for your brand is registered and things of that nature. Anything else that you can say from from a business development perspective, pearls of wisdom that you want to share? Anything? How did you guys find your funding? Things that you learned and you look back and you're like, man, I had to learn the hard way, and I don't want somebody else to have to do it.
so I would say my pearls of wisdom, and I'll try to keep it down, because I'm a lessons learned person, so I have like a whole spreadsheet full of potholes we've fallen into, right? So,
I love
um,
it.
so obviously, obviously, number one is be about your business because nobody else will be. Okay. And so if that means you're slow and steady, I would much rather be slow and steady and think twice and cut once so that way, I'm making sure that my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed. Don't let anybody rush you to production. Don't let anybody rush you to put something out there that you are not in love with. Um, everything about premium, I'm so in love with it. My team, we're all so in love with it until we are subconsciously dedicated to making sure that every box that goes out and reaches a customer, that it looks the same way it looks online. We are so I mean, we're literally obsessed with it, right? And I think that that's a healthy place to be because that means that our product is second to nobody else's.
Hmm.
And we've purchased some products from our competitors like Gold Bee and Colorado Hemp. We've purchased some honey sticks from them, and I can tell you the difference of them right now, right? And know that hands down, our product is better than theirs.
Yeah, you know what? Talk about that part of the process as well. That research and development. Trying your competitors' products. Finding areas where improvement can be. Talk about what that looked like for you all.
So we actually ordered products from who we felt were going to be our competitors in this space. We even went to some what are they called, markets, when they have them on Saturday, like the food market
Farmers
stuff,
Farmers
markets, yeah.
market.
farmers markets, yes. Um, and we even bought honey sticks that were there as well. And so we looked at the packaging, we looked at the price, we looked at how easy or how difficult it was for the honey to come up out of the sticks. We definitely talked about flavoring. We talked about, was there aftertaste? Was it gritty? And then how did we feel after we took their product, right? Because I know we know how we feel after we take ours. We wanted to see if we were going to have the similar or the same effect. So after we did our little comparative analysis against who we felt our competitors would be, we took what we didn't like about their products and we made sure that we put what we did like into our product and then make it better. And
Wow.
so our honey sticks are longer. So for example, Gold Bee, their honey sticks are shorter. The packaging was horrible. Like when we got the box, it was coming apart at the seams. So we made sure that we had a more complete box packaging. Um, for the taste of it, it was really gritty and tastes like dirt. So we essentially broke down their product to figure out why it tastes like dirt. Whatever was in theirs, we didn't put it in ours. um, and we just made sure that we did what we didn't like, we crossed it off the list, and we made our product better. And then we did that for everybody.
Yeah,
That's
and you
awesome.
know what? And people, some people who, when they heard that price tag of set you back 30,000, that's where that stuff comes in. Ordering
Yeah,
these samples, spending the time to break it down, to just go through that process is so necessary. But that's how, and in the end, I mean, I can hear the confidence that you have behind your product
yeah,
because I know that you went through a very painstaking process of actually bringing it to market. Like you didn't just decide that, I'm just gonna put out another honey product just because I
right.
can. You wanted to really find a way that you guys can set yourselves apart, and that takes time and that takes money. So I love and I thank you for sharing that. We
Hey,
went through a very similar. Go ahead.
we got a quick question. Shanika, what do
Yes.
you think? So the your honey stick is not, a honey stick is not new to the marketplace, but a good quality CBD infused honey stick, and especially when you know your competition is not where it needs to be. What do you think about the education to mainstream about just the benefits of CBD? And I speak from a perspective of I thought I knew before, but I know now after suffering a traumatic brain injury the health benefit of CBD. What do you think? What's your company's commitment to that, and what do we need to do to educate just mainstream America about the benefit of CBD? So understanding that when they get this product, you're not just getting honey, you're getting this plant. You're getting a plant-based product that's going to make a difference from a health perspective.
So we do our best to educate everyone about our products. Education, sometimes education itself is just you as the person. So you have TBI. JD, he has TBI. He was in the army, and he was his convoy was missed by a missile, IED, but he was
Yeah.
blown back, so he has TBI. So I have mental health issues. My mom, same. And so at the end of the day, we have, thank you. At the end of the day, we have become, I guess you could say, walking billboards on our own, right? Because people always want to say, well, I know you have screws in your leg. How are you able to jog? Or you're at the gym literally at 3 o'clock in the morning. How are you doing that? Oh, easy. I take CBD every day. Well, what does that do for you? Right? And I run down the list. It gives me a piece of calm. It gives me confidence in my injury. It takes the pain away. My inflammation subsides. And anyone who's known me over the last 10 to 15 years, they can tell you, oh, she's totally different. She's
Yeah.
totally different. So I encourage people to have their own story, because what CBD does for me could do something totally different for somebody else. You
Well,
suffer from migraine
I,
headaches, it'll
I
help.
tell you,
Go,
if you are a TBI patient, if you suffered from a TBI, if you care, we had Farah. She's an occupational therapist. I can tell you testimony myself from having a concussion and suffering a mild TBI that set me back for weeks. That the use of
hmm
CBD, and if you can use it in different forms, because you have tinctures, you have capsules, you have topicals. How nice would it be to have a nice hot cup of tea and be able to get
Yes.
my ingestion? And the thing about CBD, and this is what I learned, I don't mean to keep like let me tell you guys, I'm a walking billboard for CBD now. It's not even funny, as my shoulders hurt me right now. But the thing about it, and I learned this from Nicole, and shout out to Nicole Bafong, it's not it's being able to keep CBD in your body on a regular. It's not when you have, oh, I got a pain, let me take something. It's not
hmm
ibuprofen. Let's talk
Right.
about
Yeah.
that.
You know,
We are needing to feed our endocannabinoid system on a regular basis. If you suffered a injury, something that's traumatic, as a brain injury, you need to have it consistently double time. That means what you normally take every day, maybe once a day, you may get it 3 times a day.
hmm
I'm just telling
hmm
you, the benefit is
you
crazy.
know, and
Yeah.
Roz, one of the things like the Knox docs talk a lot about is even going beyond that endocannabinoid system and looking at the endocannabinoid ohm, because it talks about how that the endocannabinoid system helps to regulate other systems in our body, and that it all is a part of how we our bodies actually need it. People don't recognize that you can actually get cannabinoids and like CBD from other foods. It
Right.
exists
hmm
naturally in other foods, and our bodies have these receptors. And I remember the first time I started to really understand the science of it, somebody broke it down like this. They say, the reason why you go when you have a car accident and you go to the hospital and they give you opioids is because you have those receptors in your bodies, to be able to break that down. You have I forget the serotonin receptors that can take that in and distribute it through your body so that you can relieve that pain. But we have so many more serotonin receptors in our body. I'm sorry, CB1 and CB2 receptors in our body than we do serotonin. And
Yes.
that tells us something. That tells us that our creator wanted us to have this in our body. They wanted us to consume this at far greater consumption patterns than we do some of the other things like opioids and so on. That's why we have so much more of it. And so that's why you're absolutely right. Many of us who don't consume CBD and other cannabinoids on a regular basis, we're actually walking around with a deficiency. And so sometimes when somebody tries out a CBD product for the first time and they like, I don't feel anything, well, sometimes it may take you 15 to 30 days to get your system back to that, state to where you're no longer deficient. but now you're operating, from a place where you can begin to add more to it. And so you're absolutely right. I consume CBD in many different ways, from topicals to tinctures. Of course, we got the CBD, infused in our fruit bars. I keep them on deck. But
the thing about it is, what we got. And welcome back, Shanika. The thing about CBD and understanding this is not only in regards to, and I'm gonna speak from a TBI perspective. It's so traumatic because you don't know when you're going to pass the F out. That's what happened to me. And I started having PTSD along with the concussion symptoms. So the CBD helped with the concussion and it helped my brain to be able to fire better. But really it was because I would be out somewhere and I could feel this anxiety coming on because I could feel my concussion symptoms coming on. And I didn't know if I was going to pass out again. So you have a plan, you have a product that can do so much. And so shout out to Farrah. Like Farrah, your question, well, this came up, which I think is just so dope. Like we should be looking at, and if we can help you, Farrah, to find, funding.
She needs to get connected with Dr. Damas.
Because
Dr. Damas actually just did a full clinical study out in Colorado using CBD on patients with CTE. Now, and again, just dealing with other brain issues and so on. So Dr. Damas out of South Florida, he's actually been doing some work on that, definitely. And I think they just recently published some of the findings in that. And then to Stacy's question in regards to whether it has CBD and CBDA, if I'm not mistaken, Shanika, you did say that this is a full spectrum product, correct? So you guys have all the cannabinoids in there, right? Okay. Yeah, so Stacey, to answer your question, yes, that would have some CBDA in it.
Oh, your CBG, your CBN, and I mean, a full spectrum is such a great product, or the delivery and having a full spectrum product is so great, and it meets our demand. So, man, I just, I'm excited for you, Shanika. I'm excited for Premium. This is not, you guys can see the level. We have to, if we're going to be multi-state partners, all right, remember multi-state partners, the level of business and excellence where you have to be at to be in that partner network needs to look like this. Because Shanika now has done all her due diligence, has spent the time. So if she's going to partner, she's looking for someone who's right there with her in regards to being able to facilitate or be able to share or to make some things happen. Because now it's time to put it in the marketplace, right? And it's now time for sales. It's time. You want to see revenue coming in, right, Shanika?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. So, man, it's been a pleasure. Stacey, thanks so much for being with us. Everybody that's been with us today, please go check out. It's going across the screen. We got premium.com, PREHEMIUM. We got a big announcement, so we're gonna take a minute. Shanika, don't go anywhere because we want to make sure we send you off with love.
Well, I think she has to hop for another call. So,
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, Shanika.
Any lasting words?
Last words,
people.
Oops. Oh, yes. Thank you all so much for inviting me to your platform to be able to share with all of your viewers. Like I said, I am 100% available to talk business, to talk premium, and I would love to help any of you who have any other questions about, what potholes should I avoid? What are your thoughts on this? I enjoy being a sounding board to help us all get to the next level. So feel free to reach out to me. slucinio@premium.com is where you can reach out to me. And then please check out our website and order a box of honey sticks. I promise you will not be disappointed.
I'm going to order mine today. When you see Oz McCarthy come through there, be like, that's my sister. She got me. I'm doing it today. And I'm going to get on. Listen, ask Eve. I give a good testimony when it's tastes good. Hey, listen.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you all so much.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Shanika. Listen, guys, man, this is what I'm talking about. It's Black Business Month. We got to support one another in this cannabis and hemp space. And so I'm super proud to announce that M4MM will be hosting the first annual Supplier Diversity Conference, virtual October 2nd, 2021, from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. This is an all-day conference, and it is free. I'll say it again, it's free. The website, info.mmunited.org, and our Eventbrite and our Facebook events will all be up at 5 p.m. today, where you can register. Register just yourself. Don't register multiple people, just yourself. And if you have somebody who wants to join, just say, hey, here's the link, register yourself. There's no cost. I will tell you, if you are someone, a creative, a freelancer, you have a security business, you're an attorney, you are a blogger, whatever you do that this industry can be able to utilize, you need to be a part of this conference, because we're going to give you some important keys. We have a phenomenal keynote, 2 phenomenal keynotes, and we have all of this different concurrent sessions happening all day long, October 2nd, October 2nd, October 2nd. Please, you guys.
Yeah.
And this is, go ahead, E.
Yeah, I was going to say, and this has really been something that we've been working on now for, I think, probably a year and a half. Right before COVID hit, we began having a greater conversation about the need for us in the industry as advocates to turn more of our attention towards supplier diversity. We talk a lot about licensing, and again, we believe that has to happen. We have to have, Black and brown folks and indigenous people with licenses in all of these states, right? But that alone isn't going to make this industry a diverse industry. What is going to make this, what is going to allow us to really capitalize on this opportunity as a cannabis industry, a new nascent industry, to become a diverse industry and to become the leader to help other industries learn how to do it. The way we do that is going to be through things like supplier diversity and contracts with minority-owned businesses that already exist. And we can do that, I think, in a very smart way. And, Roz and I get these conversations all the time. It started as like these 2 conversations happening in silos, talking past each other. On one hand, we had the multi-state operators and large cannabis companies and cannabis operators saying, hey, we want to work with Black-owned businesses and companies. We have contracts. We need suppliers. We want to work with them, but we can't find them. And then we had the Black-owned businesses saying, hey, I got a cleaning business, or I have this, service that I can provide to a cannabis operator, but I can't get my foot in the door. I can't get past the gatekeepers, or I can't get a phone call back, or whatever. And so we started, Imprecure, because we wanted to bridge that gap between those 2 worlds. We wanted to bring cannabis operators together with Black-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses, indigenous, people owned businesses, and bring them in the same room, bring them to the same place. And that's why we have a website dedicated to it. So in addition to registering for the conference, you need to go to our website, imprecure.org, and make sure that you register your business so that you are part of this registry. So when we get these businesses coming to us saying, hey, we're going to be existing in, Michigan. Do you know anybody with a cleaning business in Michigan? Do you know any general contractors? Do you know any marketers? Do you know any, whatever the case may be, we can point them to this directory and they can get connected. And so it's super, super important. If you're listening, if you know anybody with a business, a minority owned business, tell them to go to the website. It doesn't cost them anything to sign up. This is completely free. And we're super proud, to be able to, have partners that support what we're doing, who believe that this is super, important. And Roz, I don't know if you want to talk about our partnership, with Imprecure.
Yep, absolutely. So listen, guys, I'm showing you right now. It's let's go ahead and put up the website, www.imprecure. I gotta spell it right, pure.org. And right now, even before the link to sign up for the supplier conference, if you're a supplier, a subcontractor, get in our database. Everything that we're doing is a vision, and a vision doesn't happen by just having a vision and being able to have like ideas. You got to execute. And the reason why we're able to execute is because of a partnership with Curaleaf. We basically took to them and said, listen, we have a proprietary platform that we want to use to be able to help diverse suppliers get connected to contractors. We need support. And so this particular platform is supported by Curaleaf. The conference is support with Curaleaf. So you guys, let me just tell you, make sure you join us October 2nd. We'll make sure you get the link. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. Man, I love you guys. I thank you guys. Thank you for rocking with Canna Talk with Roz. Y'all rock with us without even thinking and knowing that we're going to provide you the best in content, the best in interviews. So thank you guys so much. And Eric, I'll let you take it home, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you know, special thanks to you all for, you know, you guys who consistently come back every week. And I know some weeks y'all don't get us. And that's because, you know, we do a lot. We do a lot in this space, and we're always looking to create impact. And sometimes that means that we have to be traveling, or we're in the middle of something that we can't break away from. And it you know, causes us to miss the show. So we do appreciate y'all for sticking with us regardless, because we aim to bring y'all fire every Fridays on Canna Talk. So, you know, thank y'all. Thank you to our guest, Shanika, who was on earlier, and the premium brand. Y'all make sure y'all go and support that brand. Make sure y'all go to Hemp and Fork and support our brand as well. Support our hemp hearts, our fruit bars. And then if you have a brand, again, like Roz said, drop it in the chat. Let us know about it so that we can support you. We'd love to have you on Canna Talking with Roz at some point in time so that you can tell people about it. But make sure that you dot your I's and you cross your T's, all right?
Don't get up here tripping. Don't be talking about, well, I think I want to know.
We love y'all.
Listen, let me tell you what. I got a brand and I have a product that are coming out. Have you heard me talk about it yet? Because it ain't ready yet. When I talk about it, it's going to be ready to turn the key and we out of here. So, but if you turn the key, it ain't no gas in the tank. You ain't ready for Canna Talk with Roz. But just know that you don't owe us nothing. You don't have to pay us nothing. You don't have to be anybody like I gotta have all of this. You don't. All you gotta do is just reach out, Facebook, Instagram, DM, whatever the case may be. You can find me and just say, hey, I would love to be on the show and talk about my brand. I'm ready for the marketplace, because that's what we're here. That's what we're all about. But just make sure, you know, I'm gonna look under the hood, and if your hood kind of still funky, we ain't doing it.
We just gotta say, you know, let's work on it a little bit more, and then we bring it back. You know, it's done in all love.
Yes.
But hey, listen, y'all.
Listen, Antoine Hines already bought some sticks. Everybody should go Hemp and Fork, get your hemp hearts. I ain't gonna even tell you about them frozen pops. They so damn good. But anyways, Hemp and Fork, get your
we got some things coming up with Hemp and Fork. In fact, like I'm actually working right now as we speak. I'm working on a new product packaging for the hemp hearts. We're working on a little to-go packaging for y'all. So like right now, if you're somebody who like to cook with it, keep it in the kitchen, the 1 pound bag works for you. But if you're somebody who want to pick it up and go, you know, be on the go with it and whatnot, because I do consume them raw, just like sunflower seeds and so on. We're working on the packaging for that. We're working on some other things, some product, bundles and so on. Like we're getting ready to announce a new offer for you all to be able to buy 2 of the 1 pound bags for a discounted price and some other things like that. So we got a lot coming. You know, Cooking from the Heart is coming up. Definitely support us. Join our community. I got some new swag that we're about to drop. We got some aprons coming out. We got some t-shirts coming out. We got a lot coming out, man. We work over here, man. And shout out to my whole Hemp and Fork team. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. But
subscribe to Canna Talk with Roz on YouTube.
Yep. Make sure y'all go find us on YouTube and everything. Canna Talk with Roz. And we'll see y'all again next week. Y'all know my message every week. Go home. Love on yourself. Get some rest. Love on your family. We'll see y'all next week because we got work to do.
Hey, I'm in Vegas. I'll be at the Big 3. Listen, y'all, let me tell you how good God is, because he know I've been going through it. He been covering me. This last little thing. So if you watch the Big 3 tomorrow on television, that's Ice Cube's little basketball whatever. I will be laced down with all in for MM. I got floor seats. I paid for stadium seats. They had to move my seats around. They were like, we're giving you comp floor seats. So watch out for your sister tomorrow.
I'm trying to be like you when I grew up.
Listen, I'll be with the Ice Cube Big 3. So if you watch Ice Cube, he has a great tournament. I'll be on the floor rocking M for MM. So that's my weekend. I love you guys. See you next week.
All right.
Love you. Canna Talk with Roz, guys.
All right, y'all.